Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is speaking coach Honey Shantay. I am back. It's been like 2 weeks on this Financial Fitness Fridays plus or Talk Plus. I have not been here, but I'm back by God's grace. And so I've been traveling. Some of you I may have saw that or known that. For those of you who did not know, I've been traveling, and so I'm back. I'm back at home, back in Arizona, and so I'm coming on this Financial Fitness Fridays Talk Plus. I want to talk to you all about entrepreneurship. I want to talk to you about SoFi banking. I want to talk to you about just entrepreneurship and adversity. And so I want to talk to you about these three buckets or these three different areas today. I'm coming in hot, I'm coming in ready. I'm coming to release some honey. We're going to eat the honey and we're going to release the honey today on this Financial Fitness Friday. So those of you who are coming on, like it, share it, let someone know I'm back, I'm live. I've been gone for 2 weeks, but I'm here in the flesh. I'm here. Let's go. And so, so I want to talk to you all today. First of all, I want to talk to you all about let's just jump right into some things. So when I was speaking to Arizona, I spoke about some adversities and about opportunities. And sometimes when we are in a season of transition or we're shifting or things are coming or we're stepping into entrepreneurship or we're expanding, adversity always seems to come. And sometimes when you're starting something new, adversity certainly arise. And sometimes, it makes people want to, fall back or draw back because of adversity. But one of the wisdom I have learned and I have gained is that you don't work against adversity, you work with it. A lot of times we want to work against it or we work against it and we don't really push through that. And we don't and we allow adversity to form the new person who we are shifting or we're becoming. And so for those who are becoming or becoming even the more, this talk today is going to be good for you. It's going to help you to continue to overcome. It's going to help you to overcome. It's maybe help you to break through. For those who have a heart to receive this today, it's going to be powerful today. But I want to talk to you all about the SoFi banking just really briefly. I want to kind of get that in and get it out of the way. So SoFi banking, and I'm not here to give anyone no advice on what to do. I just want to articulate what that is because at the end of the day, for those of you who may or may not heard of it, this is maybe something that maybe you may want to look into further. So SoFi banking, because I had someone reach out to me about this, and I explained to them that I actually do have SoFi banking. And so SoFi banking is a way for you to have your money grow with interest. Remember I spoke, I think the last time I was here, maybe the second to the last time I was on this live, I shared with you all that, you want to have something long term. Of course, we all do. But however, you also want to think something short term. I mean, the money that you can access quickly, but also like for your emergency. But you want to have it in an account that grows with interest. A lot of times we have our money in traditional savings and checking accounts, which you don't get any kind of interest gained on there. In the days and times that we're in, you need interest. You need your money working for you. And matter of fact, even if we were not in these days and times that we're in, just in general, it's good to have it. And so that's a high yielding. So that one, you can use it. You have your money going in there. It grows with interest. I've been speaking about this. And so for those of you who want to talk to me about that further, you can. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about that. I'm not going to do too much in here live. So if I ain't paying me anything, but I do use it banking. But you can get it with interest in your checking and your savings. Of course, the savings is more than the checking, of course. But however, it is a great tool for those who want to have your money, your everyday money, basically. Your everyday money growing with interest and gaining money back. So that's one way to have your money grow. I'm all about your money growing. But at the end of the day, I'm all about freedom, security, and peace. Because I believe that's what the heartbeat of this country that we're in, and not just this country, around the world, to be honest with you. And so that's really where I'm at now, and where my focus is giving people that freedom and talking to them about that. And so today, let's jump into that freedom, peace, and as well as security and peace. So I want to talk to you about 4 areas of entrepreneurship. So there are typically 4 areas of entrepreneurship that really will compel any business owner, any solopreneur, anyone that's looking to get into entrepreneurship. Because at the end of the day, entrepreneurship is not for the faint heart. It's not. And some people get into entrepreneurship, they think I'm going to make this buku money right away. And sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. Sometimes you fail and you have to get back up and keep on going. And that becomes the adversity piece, which I come back to on the back end of this, because I believe what I'm sharing today will actually encourage someone either to get in the race or to stay in the race, but to understand how the race is run, because there's always rules to engagement. And so once we know the rules and how to do that the proper way, then we can run our race by God's grace. We can really run it But however, it does take someone having, I do believe in mentorship. I spoke to some entrepreneurs lately this week and just in past times. Mentorship is such a need. I don't think it's undervalued, but it's not as appreciated as much. And sometimes I hear people say, I have a mentor, but they're not really helping them really drive their business and help them to understand it in their business. They may be just mentoring them in terms general, but then have someone who really is taking your business specifically and showing you how to run it because they know how to run it. They've been there. So it's a different kind of mentorship. Some mentorships are very broad. They're just there to help guide you along and, kind of hold you accountable to your goals, some of your goals. But they're not. But then there are some mentors who's like really in the thick of it with you. They're right there in the trenches with you. And that's a different kind of mentorship. And I believe that's the mentorship I'm speaking about today, that latter one. So not the general one. It's good to have the general one too. I've done that as well, and I do that. But then there are some that are right really in the thick of it with you to really kind of almost hold your hand and truly hold you accountable. And so, but for entrepreneurship and to have a really successful business or a business that it don't have to be successful fully yet, but you got the pieces in place. You're moving, because at the end of the day, true people really measure true entrepreneur success is maybe like 5 years, 7 years of doing it and at a high level, and because you have ride the waves, basically I'm trying to say, but it also does require diligence. And so diligence is something, I won't say I hate when I say but diligence is something that really, really spoke volumes to me. I won't go too deep into that here, but it does speak volumes to me because the hand of the diligent does bring about advantage, wealth. It does bring about riches. It does bring about abundance in someone's life. And so as an entrepreneur who really seeking to have great success, and not just an entrepreneur, this is for any and everyone who's listened to me or watched this replay. It's for all of us, to be honest with you. It's just a diligent hand. So we're not lazy. We're not procrastinating. Because at the end of the day, if you want wealth and you want riches, you want to have success, you want to have abundance, you want to have the advantage, because we're not born to be disadvantaged. We're born to have an advantage, especially if those who have the Holy Spirit. We know the Holy Spirit gives us an advantage. So we're called to have that, but there's things that we need to do on our side. So the 4 areas of entrepreneurship for this piece of entrepreneurship, but you can apply this to any area. If you're a professional, you're a leader, you're in your career, you're in your job, you can apply these principles because it's still the same. But for entrepreneurship, is potent. Is what we need. The first area is philosophy. So we need that. We need to have something that we believe in, we stand in, because that's all philosophy is. It's ideas that you believe in. It's just you believe in that. And you believe this is success. And so case in point, a great example of that, it would be Amazon. Amazon, for one, has a philosophy. Now, some of y'all may say, well, what do you mean Amazon got a philosophy? They do. And it's always usually like one word, perhaps, most of the time. And that is they have a philosophy of convenience. Think about that. Amazon does not talk about product. A lot of entrepreneurs want to leave with product. Someone messaged me, true story, yesterday. She had a product. I guess it was a she. I don't know if it was a she or he, because the name was like words I don't even know. And they had and their face was not their face. It was like, I guess their design or logo. I don't know. Side note, you want to have some people know your brand logo, but they also know you, because people buy from you, not your logo. Just a side note, branding tip. Just know that. And so this person reached out to me, and I don't know who they were, and they want to sell me some press-on nails. That was their product. Now, I don't mind people having their products. Everyone has a product or a service, but however, she or he, I'm guessing it's a she, I'm assuming it's a she, for the sake of argument, was leading with a product. Never met me. I don't know her. She liked my page, and I sent her a message to get to know her, because I believe if you're going to reach out to me or befriend me on Facebook, that I need to know who you are, and you should know who I am. I just think that's only fair. So I reached out to this person. This person never responded, but this person messaged me about buying their product. Now, my first thought was, I don't even know you. You don't know me, I don't know you. Why are you pushing your product on me? And so I messaged the person back out of kindness. I didn't even say that. I said, hey, I messaged you about a meeting so I can learn who you are and what you have, your service, because I may potentially be a client of hers. I may buy her product. But if she didn't take the time to meet me, then that's how you gotta build a relationship, because the like, no, trust factors are still valuable in business today, and it was yesterday and probably forevermore. And so I messaged this person, and the person responded back and said, oh, I'm not comfortable doing a Zoom call or meeting you because my clients normally ask me to just to, sell my product. They just buy my product. I said, well, I guess I'm different, and I'm not comfortable buying a product from a person who I have not even met yet. And so this person responded back, and I said, if you don't want to meet on Zoom, then let's meet here on Messenger. Because she's DMing me. So I said, Messenger, you can video chat. So I said, well, let's video chat if you're not comfortable that way. Meet on Zoom, which I know some people don't do Zoom like that. So that wasn't so bad. But however, she responded back and said, oh, I'm not comfortable with that either. And I'm thinking, like, if you really want to sell your quote unquote product, then you would get on the Zoom call, Messenger. You would meet this person who seems to be hot. Because now I'm communicating back with you. So I'm a potential prospect or a potential client for her. So she messaged me back, and she said, oh, I'm not comfortable getting on Messenger either. My clients just normally just buy. I said, well, I'm not your typical client. I don't even know you. How are you going to sell me a product and we haven't even met yet? I don't even know what your product look like. I don't know anything. And so my point of saying all that to say is that if she or he, I'm guessing it's a she, like I said, really was trying to build a business, she would have made sure she built a relationship with me as well. But she messed up. So she didn't do that. And so I just, matter of fact, I blocked the person because I don't think they was a real person. I think it was a scam. That's just my honest thought, my opinion on this, my assessment on this back and forth. Because this person, was like, I don't want to meet. You didn't want to talk on the phone either. So what? Come on now. What planet does this person think I'm on? I don't know how they do business. So, but anywho, so Amazon, back to Amazon, their philosophy is convenience. So they always made their message to the market convenience. They always conveyed that, they communicate that was always clear to the marketplace. So when you move into a place of entrepreneurship and you're looking to make profit or make money, it's about conveying a message, right? And so Amazon capitalized on it. All of us, many of us have Amazon, we buy their products, but they don't lead with their products. They lead with convenience. They say, hey, we'll be at your doorstep. We'll come to your hotel. If you're traveling out the country, we'll deliver it there. We'll deliver it to your job. We'll deliver it wherever you are. They have marketed themselves so well. They knew how to market. Whereas this person who was messaging me did not do that well. She did not market herself, and she led with a product. So it made me think about Amazon, because I think Amazon just did this brilliantly. That's how come their sales are off the roof, and they are S&P top 500 company. They are big because they understand business. They understand marketing strategy. They understand a consistent message. And so and it's bringing consistent income, revenue, profit to this business. And so they, like, for example, there's a commercial I think about when I think about Amazon and how they did this, how they market themselves. Amazon, there was a commercial, y'all may have not seen this, I don't know, but I just thought it was so brilliant. They marketing. The guy had on a white t-shirt. There's a man who went out his apartment, went out his door, and he was like in this, I guess, like outdoor restaurant area, area people were sitting down eating and just kind of walking around. It seemed so peaceful. It was sunny out. Everybody was having a good time. And he's in this pure white t-shirt. All of a sudden, mayhem just broke out. I mean, like food fighting, grenades. I mean, it was just like bombs just jumped off. I mean, it was insane. And this man, white t-shirt, got all kind of splasher on there and stains. I mean, it was dirty. By the time he got back to his home, it was just a hot mess, right? And no sooner than he gets in the door, the doorbell rang. And guess what it was? It was an Amazon package. But however, it wasn't just about the package that was at the door. It was the fact that it was convenience. And the product, now you're talking about some product, because remember, the product is on the back end, not the front end. The message was on the front end. The message was, it was at his doorstep. As soon as he got home, the doorbell rang, it was a package. And it was a package, the product was detergent. A lot of times what people do is they want to lead with the product, and then maybe come back to a message on the back end. But it doesn't work that way. Because people want the convenience. Yes, they want the product, but they like the convenience even more. The convenience speaks louder than the actual product. The fact that you can get my product at my door and I ain't got to get in a car and go buy it if I don't want to. Now, I know some people say they like to go to the store and feel, touch, and see and all that stuff. I'm not speaking to those folks. I'm speaking to those who really do like convenience. Whether, if you're buying something that you don't need to touch, feel, and see, you can just go and get it and it's there for you. And so Amazon has conveyed that message clearly to the marketplace. That's their philosophy. No one can argue with them. No one can argue and say they're not convenient. All of us agree that they are. So it's amazing. It's amazing how they've done that. So in entrepreneurship, philosophy is important. Like we have a philosophy. What I do, we have a philosophy, and we communicate that very clearly all the time. We don't lead with product. And so a lot of times I meet entrepreneurs, I meet people, and they always want to lead with their product. And they don't lead with no relationship building. They don't lead with how that's going to help me. It just doesn't convey very well in the marketplace. Now, some people, they lead with products and that's just it, and that's what they do. But I'm just saying how you build something that's sustainable, that's bigger than you, that leads into building a company. You have to have some of these pillars in place. And so the second thing is not only having the philosophy, it's a system in place. Now, I know a lot of people talk about systems nowadays because that was not a thing in the past. That's the thing now. People are talking a little bit more about systems. You're starting to hear that because a system actually does build a business. That's what